Thank you for joining me as I review the year that was and take a look towards what might lie before us. Being a people person, I would much rather be meeting together and looking out at my friends, colleagues, and constituents as I share this message. But as with all of us, we are making do and look forward to return to normalcy. I think we can all agree that 2020 was a year like no other. Words and phrases like COVID-19, contact tracing, pandemic, self-quarantine, virtual meetings, flatten the curve, and mask up all took on meaning and played a role in each of our lives that we never would have anticipated a year ago. And we are all tired of hearing them. This scourge affected nearly every aspect of our lives, both individually and collectively. Unemployment spiked as high as 28% in Noble County during April. Many of our small businesses, restaurants, and manufacturers are still struggling. LSC Communication announced its closure, and TaylorMade decided to pick up and move their operation to Fort Wayne. We also saw our beloved Atz Furniture close after 98 years in business. We wish Joe and Vicki all the best. In spite of the negative news, many things remain positive in the city. Due to the grit and determination of our community, I believe we weathered the storm of 2020 as well as we could have hoped. I believe, as you listen, you will be surprised at all that has been accomplished. People like Logan Conley of the Crew Youth Center didn't sit idly by while the community was shut down. He created and delivered, with the assistance of many volunteers and other organizations, boxes of hope. Items in these boxes included snacks, family activities, information on local resources, and a personalized letter to each family. In what can only be described as incredibly unfortunate timing, new operators Kathy and Kevin Robbins took over the Strand Theater in February. Essentially shut down, the Strand offered drive-up popcorn sales to help them survive, and we as a community stepped up, or rather drove up, enthusiastically purchasing their delicious offerings. August brought a unique windstorm through, causing numerous power outages and damage to 74 street trees, costing the city in excess of $37,000 for pruning and removals. City personnel from all our departments responded, whether it was operating trucks, heavy equipment, or guarding streets where power lines were entangled into trees or had fallen to the ground. One of the things I love about our community is her wonderful, caring people. As in true Kendallville fashion, I witnessed countless neighbors helping each other and us, using their personal chainsaws to help remove limbs, branches, and such, to allow free passage of streets, making it more easily accessible for the street department to pick up debris. It was amazing to see as I drove around to assess the damage. The following day, the East Noble football team, the girls' soccer team, and countless others drove around with personal vehicles to pick up branches and take them to the compost site. And another feel-good story of looking out for others, East Noble sophomore Hannah Mast brought her horse Stella to the windows of Orchard Point Health Campus this past summer to spread some smiles to those unable to be outside or around other people. There are numerous stories all around the city of people looking out for each other, and I am deeply grateful. Kendallville values the sanctity of life, and as such, several citizens stepped up to donate towards a Safe Haven baby box now located at the fire station on US 6. Deemed Construction is to be commended for donating their time and materials to install it for us. There are 37 such boxes in the state of Indiana. We received the honor of being named 33rd in America's 50 Best Cities to Live, published by the financial news and opinion company 24/7 Wall Street. This from nearly 30,000 cities, towns, villages, and unincorporated places across America. 25 indices were measured in 4 categories: affordability, economy, standard of living, and community. This was extremely flattering for us. We are all watching the Community Learning Center, or CLC, develop into a tremendous public asset with absolute delight. The diversity of instructional classes offered, the farmer's market, the bountiful vegetable garden, pickleball play, and even COVID testing all take place there. I could have never dreamed it could all come together in such a short period of time and would look so beautiful. Our community owes a debt of gratitude to the DECO Foundation, and we appreciate Executive Director Julia Tipton's enthusiasm and leadership. The CLC was also the site that many families used to pick up daily student lunch through the summer. Our police officers delivered lunches to various apartment complexes where transportation wasn't readily available for the students there. Kendallville Restorations continues to do an amazing work helping to reinvigorate and stabilize our neighborhoods. As an example, they purchased and have been busy rehabilitating 434 North Main Street. Some of the restoration has been completed by Impact Institute students. This is, in my opinion, the epitome of a win-win-win. The house is dramatically improved, positively impacting the neighborhood. The students learn skills that will serve them their entire life, regardless of their chosen vocation, and some lucky family will have a home they can be proud of. Their work is just getting started on the inside of 420 Kruger Street. I think you will agree the outside looks so much better already. Sometimes the house condition can't justify rehabbing, and demolition proves to be the most viable option. Such was the case at 328 North Main Street, with city personnel performing the work. Kendallville Restoration's goal is to revitalize our community by restoring neighborhoods one house at a time. Others are seeing the value of this work and are donating personally in the cause. Grants from the Noble County Economic Development Corporation, the Kendallville Local Development Corporation, and the Community Foundation of Noble County have each given the work of Kendallville Restorations a big boost. Kendallville Rotary was in the news again in 2020. They received the Rotary International Presidential Award for Club Program Excellence in 2018 and 19. The Silver Level Award was only one of 15 in the district for being the inspiration for Rotary worldwide. We have all had to change in some way how we do business during the pandemic. We had to close City Hall to the public. However, I am proud to say that our people were on the job every single day, as I consider all of our employees essential workers. Like so many others across our community, they are to be commended on the work they have done during these trying times. For all the sad news around us, I am reassured that we here in our little corner of the world continue to look out for each other, find ways to celebrate, think of others first, and are in good financial shape. According to the figures received from Clerk Treasurer Katie Ritchie, we ended 2020 with a healthy municipal balance of $22.7 million. We very much treat your precious tax dollars with a cautious and conservative mindset. 2/3 of the total is invested, on the ready in the event of an extended downturn. If 2020 taught us anything, it is that being prepared for the unexpected is a prudent approach to life and finances. Our frugal measures should assist with buffering this uncertainty during the next few years. The Clerk Treasurer's Office was directly affected by decisions made in higher leadership by giving a moratorium for shutoffs to unpaid utility bills until November 30th. When the suspension was lifted, there were over 400 delinquent customers. In true Kendallville fashion of working with our neighbors, calls were made to many individuals to set up payment plan that would work for their situation. Through this hard work and diligence, the list was brought down by 90%. As a team, we work very hard to not only give great service, but to also work with our citizens who may be struggling. We also learned that Kendallville received $3.6 million federal grant for Phase 2 of Drake Road from Weston Avenue to Beacon Road. Like Phase 1, between Main Street and Weston Avenue, this project will include new curb and gutter, storm sewer, ornamental street lighting, and 10-foot wide multi-use path. Construction is scheduled to begin in 2025. A much-needed new website was launched by the city, and I think you will agree it is very user-friendly and gives a good first impression of our community. After a number of years of consideration, Kendallville finally went with one trash hauler for our citizens. While viewed by some as controversial, this contract is reducing costs for our citizens every month, promotes recycling, reduces wear and tear on our streets and alleys, provides for twice-a-year bulk curbside pickup, and perhaps most importantly, assists us with our efforts to clean up the city. I appreciate all the input and support received from our citizens on this important issue. The fire department started the new year with a new leader. Chief Jeremy McKinley hit the ground running. As a result, 5 new volunteers as well as 2 full-time members were brought on board. Despite the virus, the department remained active in the community, leading birthday parades, school parades, the Special Olympic Parade, and even escorted Santa and Mrs. Claus through our neighborhoods. Out of a natural disaster such as the August windstorm, Chief McKinley made note of some things and is in the process of working with local officials to institute a county-wide alert system for our dangerous weather. A number of neighboring counties have this system, and it has served them well. The street department's duties expand far beyond patching streets and snow plowing on the nearly 49 miles of streets in the city. They clear out streets after storms such as we experienced last August, pick up leaves, assist with tree planting, and any number of other projects. Last year, they also retrofitted over 100 of our historic ornamental streetlights with LED bulbs. After several years of this work, we expect to have upgraded our entire system within the next 2 years. In 2020, we were again the recipients of INDOT's Community Crossing Matching Grant, allowing us to complete over $1 million of street work throughout the city. Through this program, nearly $3 million have been invested in Kendallville streets. We are extremely grateful to our state legislators for supporting this valuable program to our state. Longtime Detective Lance Waters took the reins of the police department in April after the retirement of former Chief Rob Wiley. The police department added 2 canine officers, Frodo and Bobby, this past year. They are proving to be a key component in the fight to rid our community of the menace of illegal drugs. They conducted 159 narcotics vehicle searches and 5 structural searches, resulting in the discovery of approximately 120 grams of methamphetamine, approximately 100 grams of marijuana, and smaller amounts of heroin and cocaine. The department, in partnership with the Noble County Prosecutor's Office, moved the sexual assault victims advocacy to the CLC. We are grateful for the welcoming and calming environment that young victims will now have for interviews. Code enforcement has been busy as well, and our neighborhoods are looking better for it. I know we still have a long way to go, and I remain steadfast in committing the resources needed to clean up Kendallville. Perhaps the best news out of the police department is to finally be at full staff. 4 new officers were sworn in, and we know they will serve us well. City Water Department personnel replaced over 50 service lines, 4 fire hydrants in preparation for the downtown streetscape project, saving over $110,000 by doing so. They continue to do much work in-house, such as repairing customer service lines, sandblasting and painting hydrants, and numerous facility improvements, and of course, repairing over 20 water main breaks, saving over $100,000 to our ratepayers. The Water Pollution Control Department was busy with state inspections, lab tests, and maintaining compliance. Several personnel continue to advance their certifications. They also repaired a sewer line on William Street, saving tens of thousands of dollars. Also, along with other departments, they are helping with the McCrae site cleanup in preparation for the solar field installation. The Park Department had a record year for the Bixler Lake Campground, with income over 4 times the previous year. This in spite of, or perhaps because of, COVID restrictions limiting other recreational options. Our partnership with the YMCA continues as we were able to again offer summer camp to our area youngsters. While there might have been fewer campers, the quality of the program remains as high as ever, as a good time was had by all. The tennis courts were completely refurbished with new asphalt, fencing, net posts, and LED lighting. The courts were also lined to play pickleball, and I must say I have really enjoyed seeing them used this past fall on my evening walks. The outdoor recreation complex opened late, not starting tournament play until mid-June. Even so, a total of 300 teams participated on 13 successful events. Our downtown, undoubtedly the biggest news, was the long-awaited $1.6 million streetscape project. It includes new sidewalks, curbs, lights, benches, and trees. There are many partners who came together to make the project possible, including the Redevelopment Commission, the Kendallville Local Development Corporation, and city workers. We are also grateful for all the volunteers that gave of their time to help select the design. I think you will agree it looks fantastic. Aimed at making our downtown more attractive, several facade grants were awarded to assist building owners with needed upgrades, including the Strand Theater's new marquee and the attractive black fencing at the Splash and Dash car wash. The Mayor's Youth Advisory Council dedicated the alley gathering place next to the Strand. It is a great addition to our downtown. I witnessed many people enjoying eating lunch there this past summer. I am so appreciative to all of you that support their work. Hassler Realty invested heavily in our downtown with their refurbishing of the former Weibel paint store. By keeping many elements of the original interior, such as the wooden floor and brick walls, they paid special homage to a landmark, all while providing a beautiful and functional workplace. The Kendallville Local Development Corporation is also to be commended for assisting in the economic vitality of the downtown area by supplying much-needed faster 5G internet service. Kendallville Restorations, Inc. purchased the old S&S property across the street from City Hall for the development of a pocket park. We are currently finalizing a design, so fundraising should begin soon. Work is expected to begin later this year. The Heart of Kendallville Group applied for and received an art grant to enhance the downtown as well. You may have noticed the mural in the future Pocket Park and the side of Whatchamacake's building, or the whimsical painting on the traffic signal control boxes. The popcorn stand got a makeover and a temporary relocation to the front of Shepherd's Auto GMC. We thank them for allowing it to be located there this past summer while the streetscape construction was taking place. One of the more conspicuous ways in which the pandemic affected us here was the cancellation of so many popular events. We all missed enjoying the 4th of July Patriotic Pops concert and fireworks, the Apple Festival, the Ferry Festival, Food Truck Fridays, as well as the Main Street Car Show. Determined to provide a fun Halloween for our youngest citizens, we got creative for a trick-or-treat and did a drive up to get your treats. It proved to be very popular. I love seeing the excitement on the children's faces and the oh-so-cute costumes and the parents' appreciative smiles. The East Noble High School events looked different as well. Downsized crowds and mandatory mask wearing. Seniors Honor Night had to be held on YouTube. The Grand March on prom night was held outdoors at the sports complex, and graduation was also held outside at the football field. The entrepreneurial spirit overcame some tough odds and persevered locally. New businesses opened last year were IHOP, Stout Barbell Fitness Center, Glam Palace, Midwest America Federal Credit Union, and Northeastern Center's Promise House campus. We continue to see growth in several of our local industries. Between Flint and Walling's $2.2 million, Kraft Heinz's $4 million, and Bullhoff's $1.1 million in equipment purchases, well over $7 million was invested in our manufacturing sector. In the process, retaining 429 employees, along with 12 new hires, with the hopes of up to 20 more. We received some exciting news on the housing front as well. Noble Creek, a lot subdivision to be developed by Lancia Homes will be built near the Southside Elementary. The Noble County Economic Development Corporation hired a new executive director. Gary Gatman has taken the helm at a time that would test the best of us and is doing a remarkable job. He orchestrated the job fair at both LSC Communications and the Community Learning Center to assist the workers that were displaced with the news of their closures. In all, 41 employers participated. They also helped 46 Noble County businesses that lost income due to COVID with microgrants received from the Office of Community and Rural Affairs. I believe we are positioned for greatness not only as a city, but collectively as a county and a region. Doctors Roush and Will celebrated 75 years in business during 2020. I applaud their vision of making a $2,020 donation, with half directed to the VFW and the other half to Families for Freedom, two organizations that I hold near and dear to my heart. Others who reached milestones this year include the Emmerich, Diggins, and Zabona Law Firm and Peachy's Dry Cleaners, both also serving our community for over 75 years. Hickory Creek at Kendallville Senior Care Facility, along with J. David Skimmerhorn, CPA, have done so for 50 years. AMI Investment Management, Dependable Metal Treating, and Kendallville Animal Clinic are enjoying their 25th year of providing services to Kendallville and beyond, while Hensinger Plumbing and Heating, A&G Supply, and Ashley Industrial Molding are celebrating their first decade. I am not one to remain content with past accomplishments. I believe we must continue to strive forward toward new goals. Many years ago, someone once said, the first step towards getting somewhere is to decide that you are not going to stay where you are. With that being said, here are a few of our plans for 2021. Institute and employ a county-wide emergency alert system. Expand our unique ornamental streetlights into some neighborhoods that currently lack them. Start construction of the downtown pocket park. Complete the cleanup of the former McCrae site and convert it to a solar field, complete with neighborhood park and historical education elements. Continue our neighborhood stabilization and revitalization efforts. Presuming we receive the Next Level Trails grant from the IDNR, start construction on the multi-use paths along US 6, further expanding our healthy activity opportunities. I want to close with reminding you just how much I cherish serving as your mayor. It is something I remain grateful for every day and do not take for granted. I remain confident that our best days as a city and as a nation lie before us. God bless this great country, and thank you, and good day.